Welcome along to the trail. My name's Kate. This is Kate, and we've got Denise at this feed as well. Very soon we will be joined by some Humboldt penguins, but before they come out we need to just go over some rules. So if you can make sure that you're a nice big step back from the wall, and please make sure you keep your fingers and faces off of the wall and away from the penguins at all times. This is very important as they've got very sharp beaks and they need these to catch their slippery fish, but we don't want them getting confused and catching anyone's fingers or noses instead. So please make sure you keep your fingers and faces well away from the penguins, and while they're out here, please keep noise and movement to a minimum. So if you do want to leave during the feed, just do it nice and slowly and quietly so we don't frighten the penguins. I've got a game to play. I'm going to test your penguin knowledge before they come out, find out what you already know about penguins. Nice and easy. All you need to do, if you think the answer is yes, is raise your hands. So we'll have a bit of a warm-up to start with. I'd like you to raise your hands if you're looking forward to seeing the penguins today. Yeah, that's most people. That's good to see. Brilliant. Okay. First question. I'm going to theme things a little bit around breeding season because it is a special time of year for our penguins. It is the breeding season, so if you're lucky, you may see some youngsters out and about. So first of all, I'd like you to raise your hands if you think that the Humboldt penguin, the ones we have here, pair up for life. Do they stay together as a couple? If you think they do, raise your hands. And if you're lucky, watch Kate, she'll give you some clues. Yes, well done if you got your hands up. You are correct. Humboldt penguins do pair up for life, and we've got many couples that have been together for a very long time. Now raise your hands if you think that penguins lay eggs. Yeah, well done, of course they do. Raise your hands if you think penguins are a type of bird. Yeah, well done, they are birds. Now penguins are a flightless bird, so people do get a bit confused, but they do lay eggs, so of course they are actually a bird. And we have another bird here at the zoo that doesn't fly. Can anybody think of what it is? Shout it out if you know. Yeah, what do you think it is? No, the flamingos actually can fly. Emu, they would be one. We haven't got any here at the zoo though. Anybody else then? What do you think? Ostrich, that's the one I was looking for. Well done. There's many different birds around the world that don't fly, and here at the zoo another one that we've got is the ostrich. So make sure you have a look at them if you haven't seen them already today. Okay, well done. Give yourselves a nice big round of applause. Some very good penguin knowledge there. Okay, it's going to go let the penguins out, so while she does, we'll just run over those rules. So please make sure you stay a nice big step back from the wall. Make sure you keep all those fingers and faces off of the wall and away from the penguins. And remember to keep noise and movement to a minimum, please. And welcome to the Ink Trail, home to 15 of our Humboldt penguins. We've got 2 colonies of Humboldt penguins here at the zoo. The others are up at Penguin Shores. And if you have a look at them very carefully, you'll see they've got patterns of dots on their bellies, and this is how we can identify them. So we're able to tell exactly who's who is who. The only thing we don't know is who is a boy and who is a girl. Well, until we check them by taking a feather or a blood sample and sending it off to the lab. So we do know now that you can't tell just by looking at them. So I'll point out some of the penguins for you. Over the far side, she's got her back to you, just eating a few fish there, just turned around, that's Bellamy. She's our oldest female, she's 18 years old, she's got quite a big beak and quite red eyes in colour. If you look very carefully, the penguins actually do have different coloured eyes, some are bluey-grey, some are brown and some are red. In the middle we've got Surf. Surf has got dots all around the outside and one in the middle. We've got Boomerang. He's quite an easy one to identify. He's looking a little bit scruffy at the moment. He's got his back to you at that bow. And he has actually got an extra dark line that runs through the right throat area. Should just be the one line of a band around the belly, but Boomerang's got an extra one. And this is his twin brother, Felix. Who else have we got here? We've got Bam Bam. Bam Bam's got a little triangle of 3 dots at the top of her belly. And is this Pebbles or Kate? Can you see if there's Pebbles? I thought so. This is her twin sister, Pebbles, just in front of her. Pebbles got a double line of dots down one side, a single line the other, with 2 little dots in the middle. Similar markings to Sebastian, who's got the double line and the single line, but his dots are the other way around and they're further apart. Sebastian was named after the crab from The Little Mermaid. And then we've got Echo at the front here. She's not got many dots on her belly. She's got a white chin rather than a fully black face. And she's also got 3 little dots, a bit like a zip on a pair of trousers, on the lower part of her belly. As I said, it is breeding season, so hopefully a bit later on we'll have some more juveniles out and about in the enclosures, and the way that you can tell who the younger ones will be is by looking at the markings. It's still a little bit fluffy if you see them sitting outside their nests, if you're very lucky. Once they leave the nest, they will have feathers similar to the adults, but they have different markings. So if you look at the adult penguins now, you'll see they've got a nice dark back, a light belly with spots on, and they've also got a white stripe that runs down the side of the body. This gives them a dark band around the belly and a dark face. This is the adult markings. We've got one penguin up at Penguin Shores called Caitlin, who turned a year this year. He's last year's youngster. He's got the juvenile markings still. He's got the browny grey back and the light belly with spots on. But this year he's going to have his very first molt of feathers. So some of our penguins are looking a little bit scruffy, especially these ones at the bow there. Penguins, being birds, do need to molt their feathers, and they do this just once a year for this species of penguin. And you're at the end of the summertime after the breeding season, so as we approach the molting season, they will get quite scruffy as their feathers age. They look after them using an oil gland on their tail, which keeps them waterproof. So you'll see the penguins spending lots of time bathing in the pool and cleaning those feathers as well. Please make sure you keep your hands off of the wall. Don't want anyone getting nibbled. Unfortunately, these penguins are a threatened species out in the wild. They're classed as vulnerable, and this is mainly down to habitat destruction, but pollution and overfishing cause them many problems as well. May sound a bit disgusting to you and I. At the back, can we just try and keep nose down, please? No banging around. Thank you. Out in the wild, the penguins like to use their own poo to make their nest, and this is called guano. That sounds a bit disgusting to you and I, but if you are a penguin, it's a brilliant substance to make a nest. They leave it to build up nice and deep. They can then burrow into it when it turns into a chalky substance. Unfortunately, it's not only very good for building a house if you're a penguin, it's very good for fertilising land if you're a farmer. So the farmers out in Peru will bulldoze through the penguin colony, and while they're doing this, they run over any penguin chicks and eggs that happen to be in the way, so many of the penguins are destroyed. So it's a very big problem for them, so we're trying to help them. Colchester Zoo has got its own charity called Action for the Wild, and through our charity, we help and support many different animal projects all around the world. Here at the Inca Trail, we are supporting the wild Humboldt penguins. We're sending money out to the main colony in Peru to help research and support the research projects so we can find out how we can help them best, and also the rebuilding of a very important wall that stops people and other animals entering the breeding colonies and killing the penguins. So if you would like to help us, we have got a donation bucket with Denise, and we've got some stickers to hand out as well, so if you want to see her after the talk, she'll just make herself available just over the back and do a bit of mingling. All the donations are very important, and they do get sent straight out to Peru to help the penguins' wild cousins. As we said before they came out, they are birds, and one of the big differences is their wings, because over time they have changed into flippers. All that bone has fused to make that powerful flipper instead, and that's what they use to swim nice and quickly. They're covered in the tiny feathers that we talked about. They've got webbed feet and a short stiff tail, and this is what steers them in different directions, acting like a rudder on a boat. And penguins' bones are very solid and dense, which is different from birds that fly. Birds that fly have got light honeycomb bones, and they need to be lightweight so they can get up into the sky. The penguins need to be nice and heavy so they can dive deep for their fish. And the Humboldt penguin can actually dive to about 53 metres for their record. That's quite a long way down. But the emperor penguin holds the biggest record. They're the biggest out of the 18 different species, and they can dive to over 500 metres. I've told you a little bit about the penguins. If you'd like to learn more, maybe you'd like to help feed the penguins in one of the enclosures one day, why not take part in one of our Keeper for the Day or Shadow Keeper experiences? There are many different experiences available, and if you'd like to know more about them, including birthday parties for the younger ones, pop to guest services and they'll tell you all about them. For now, thank you very much for coming along. We're going to leave the penguins out for a bit longer, so please make sure you stay that step back from the wall and keep your fingers and faces off of the wall and away from the penguins, because remember they do have very sharp beaks, and please keep noise and movement to a minimum. Thank you very much for coming. If you've got any questions, please feel free to come and see us. We're both called Kate. Thank you for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your day here at Colchester Zoo.